Ladies and gentlemen, live from the West Coast, it's time for Ring Talk Live Worldwide.
Hey, yo.
For over 30 years, and still, your inside look into boxing and mixed martial arts.
You know what? As long as she fights at 135 pounds, I don't care if she's injecting a horse demon into her eyeballs.
Heard live around the world and brought to you by the World Boxing Organization. And now, live from the Ring Talk Studios in San Francisco, here's the host of the longest-running fight show in history, Pedro Fernandez.
Damas y caballeros, bienvenidos, ladies and gentlemen, live worldwide, emanating from the Sports Byline Studios in the City by the Bay, San Francisco, California. Check it, sports fans. You're tuned to Ring Talk Live Worldwide. 35-plus years now of being often imitated but hardly duplicated. Here I sit high atop my throne, the undisputed heavyweight champion of the radio hours, Pedro Fernandez. Straight up, we've got 2 hours of Ring Talk Live Worldwide. Of course, bringing in the undefeated Johnny Signorella from Las Vegas in about a minute and a half. We'll talk with him in a little bit. Straight up, the Godfather, Larry Merchant, will join us today. Of course, the Godfather will have his impression, of course, of Deontay Wilder's win last night. Wow, a one-round win. It was a good fight, I mean, for as long as it lasted. And Dominic Breazeale, he did sort of wobble Deontay Wilder to an extent. So there was a little bit of intrigue for, I think it lasted like a blink of an eye, like, a minute and a half, something like that. But at the end of the day, Deontay Wilder was a superior fighter. Therefore, he should have won in the manner in which he did. So in other words, you don't give a guy a whole lot of credit for showing up and doing what he was supposed to do. He had a job to do. He did the job. Big deal. He did it in the first round. And it wasn't, and when I say big deal, I say that because Dominic Breazeale knocking him out, not such a big thing. Although it did take Anthony Joshua 7 rounds in order to do so. Some people think that, maybe that Wilder's a better fighter than Joshua. Well, maybe he is, but he's a street fighter. He's not a boxer. I don't know if Joshua's a boxer. I think Joshua thinks a little bit more than Wilder, but Wilder's just a street fighter, just a brawler, a big, tall, 6'7" guy that got into boxing about 12 years ago and got the bronze medal at the Olympics. Of course, the biggest rage out of Mobile, Alabama since Governor George Wallace, I guess. Straight up, what am I trying to say? Deontay Wilder is number 3 in the world of heavyweights in my mind. Of course, I'm talking about Tyson Fury. You are tuned to Ring Talk Live Worldwide on Sports Byline, 1-800-878-PLAY. That's 1-800-878-7529. Or the text line, 415-275-1613.
Everybody plays the fool sometime.
Guys, you manscape, right? Tidy up below the belt, trim the Yeti. Every guy knows the tree stands taller when the shrubs are trimmed, and 9 out of 10 women said they prefer their men manscaped. But you gotta use the right tools for the jewels, or you look like you clear-cut the forest with a machete. And Nixon cuts are the last thing the twins down south need. Pop over to my buds at manscaped.com and check out their Perfect Package 2.0 featuring the lawnmower, which is the perfect tool for below-the-waist grooming. It's rechargeable and waterproof, so you can use it in the shower. Manscaped invented skin-safe technology that won't nick or snag Mars or Uranus, which hurts like the dickens when Jupiter ascends. Order your Perfect Package 2.0 featuring all the right tools for the jewels and get 20% off plus free shipping and a free travel bag. Pop over to manscaped.com and enter promo code RING for 20% off plus free shipping and a free travel bag. Manscaped.com, promo code RING. That's promo code RING at manscaped.com.
Having fun together adds up, and so do the savings at Kohl's with an extra 15% off. Save on family fun matching graphic tees, just $7.64 and $8.49. Hit the beach with women's flip-flops, and new beach towels, each just $11.04. Plus, take 25% off select Adidas and Converse. Plus, get Kohl's Cash. Friday through Sunday at Kohl's. Select styles, 15% offer valid May 13th through 19th with promo code SAVENOW. Some exclusions apply. See store or Kohl's.com for details.
Hi, it's Flo. And you know what word I don't get? Shampoo. The first half of the word is sham, and the second part you definitely don't want to see in the shower. That's why I made up a neat word. Flotection. The feeling of security you get when your new house is protected by home insurance through me and Progressive. I mean, seriously, shampoo? What part of that makes you want to rub it all over your hair?
Save an average of 17% on car insurance when you bundle home and auto through Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Discount not available in all states or situations.
Now you can fly anywhere in the world and pay discount prices on your airline tickets. Book a flight today to London, Paris, Madrid, or anywhere else you want to go. And pay a lot less guaranteed. Call the International Travel Department right now at Low Cost Airlines.
800-754-4531. 800-754-4531. That's 800-754-4531.
Here comes the decision now. Let's listen.
Clarity in the world of professional boxing is spelled WBO. That's right, the World Boxing Organization is boxing's only transparent sanctioned body. You can follow the WBO on Facebook or check out their website, WBOboxing.com. That's WBOboxing.com. The World Boxing Organization.
Has done it! We have a new heavyweight champion in the world!
Hardest hustle anything is boxing, though. I don't know what you do for a living, but pretty sure ain't nobody punching you all in your eye. I watched one fight. Roy Jones got hit so hard, my TV moved. He was asleep like he got knocked out of the club. The ref was like 241, 242. Roy was snoring. He was really knocked out. He was laying there so long, they had to start another fight. Roy was still there. Fighters had to dance around Roy.
Earthquake, courtesy of HBO comedy, of course. Back in the day when HBO did all those great comedy specials, Earthquake was first and foremost one of the guys that expanded on the sport of professional boxing. Now, we take it from Earthquake and HBO to Las Vegas, Nevada, and bring in Johnny Signorella. Big John, let's talk about Deontay Wilder last night. One punch, one round. What can you say?
Hey, I thought he looked great last night, man. It wasn't the trailing shots we've seen him be accustomed to throwing in the past couple fights. Last night, he was concentrated from a distance, working on the outside, a great distance to take out Breazeale, hitting Breazeale at the end of his shot at a high point of impact. That right hand was sensational last night, Pedro.
Well, you know, and there's a lot of merit to that, and I will say this, but, you know, he should be getting better. He's got 41 or 42 professional fights now. He should be getting better. He was a 2008 Olympian. He should be getting better. He should be at the top of his game right now. If he's not, I don't know what to say. But, you know, knocking out Dominic Breazeale in one round with one punch, I'll just say this. It was the nicest right hand I've seen thrown this year.
Oh, it was definitely the knockout of the year thus far. And again, that distance was so key. And we even saw a nice jab, which Deontay Wilder is definitely capable of doing with Breland as his trainer. You know, they had a great jab in the first Burns-Stavern fight. And we saw that set up that right hand a little bit last night. But again, that distance was key for me. And yes, Deontay got caught on the inside. He got a little wild because he's that guy that goes for the kill. And that's what makes him so intriguing. That's what makes him so entertaining, is that he will play fire with fire. And he got caught, but I tell you what, man, he's got a good chin. And, you know, Breazeale, he took one hell of a shot last night. I don't blame him for, being knocked out the way he was. I mean, he looked really buzzed afterwards. Breazeale claimed that he could have continued. I didn't see that. I mean, when he got up to his feet, he looked like a guy that was, failing a sobriety test. You know, he was flailing all over the place, and he wasn't on steady legs. So not a good look there. Yeah.
Well, like Pat Russell said, the referee, or Arthur McCanny, when Pat Russell was quoting Arthur McCanny, I can still fight, ref. I can still fight, yeah, but not tonight.
Absolutely, you know. I mean, it was entertaining, one-rounder. Wilder did what he was supposed to do against a capable guy in Dominic Breazeale, only lost, of course, to Anthony Joshua. I believe it was around the 7th or 8th round where he got stopped. But he showed, a lot of courage in that one, getting off the mat. And he definitely tried to get off the mat last night. And all the respect in the world to him. That power of Deontay Wilder, though, man, that is just something else, Pedro.
Okay. Now, the guy I think that stole the weekend, as far as I was concerned, watching all these highlights, it sure wasn't Gary Russell or anybody like that. And it wasn't even Deontay Wilder. It was a guy named Inoue. Talk to me about that. Amanda Rodriguez can fight.
Yes, he does, man. Inoue at 118 pounds last night knocked out Manny Rodriguez, who was unbeaten going into that fight, right? Inoue and Rodriguez had a very competitive first round, man. I definitely edged it towards Inoue, but it was competitive, and I thought the whole fight would be. But, if you ask Inoue that, look at him in round 2, he'd say, hell no, bro, because he came out there, he saw everything he needed to see in round 1 to figure out Manny Rodriguez and trashed him, absolutely trashed him in round 2.
And it was scary. I mean, that's all I can say is if I was trying to line my guy up to fight that guy, I probably wouldn't show him the highlights of that one.
Yeah, man. That's why they called him the monster. Naiola now moves on in the tournament to take on Nonito Donaire next. Man, I feel bad for Donaire. I love Donaire. I think he's a good boxer. He's got good hand speed, but he might be way in over his head against this young lion.
Interesting. Now, when you look at this guy now moving up to 118 pounds, you and I talked about whether you can make it from 115 to 118 because there's a 3-pound difference. And somebody says, what's 3 pounds? Well, look at a guy at his max at 115 and a guy at his max at 118. They are two different size guys. That's just the way it is. Straight up, though, he was able to put on the 3 pounds and rock and roll with that kind of power. I guess he goes into the Donaire fight the favorite, even though Donaire has been 12 rounds so many times.
Oh, he's definitely going in as the favorite in Inoue. And we talked about his body. He's 21. He's going to continue to grow. He's going to clear out this tournament. I believe he takes out Donaire and then makes an eventual move up to, 122. But, again, he's got a task in front of him because, like you said, Donaire has been there, done that, man. We've seen many ups and downs in Donaire, but he's looked like he's definitely come back to his own a little bit in terms of being successful now. Again, he's also got that eraser. Donaire is also a hard puncher. So I'm looking forward to seeing what we have. This has been a great tournament. The World Boxing Super Series, guys, if you have not been following, we've seen some great talent. Season 1 brought us Usyk last year. Season 2 has really showcased Inoue. Last night we saw a great fight in Josh Taylor and Ivan Baranchyk at 140 pounds. Josh Taylor won a very highly competitive unanimous decision. And he will move on to face my man, Regis Prograis, next in the final. So, guys, if you're not checking this thing out on DAZN, please tune in. This is world-class stuff. Everyone on that card, in the main card last night, anyway, Rodriguez, Taylor, Baranchyk, all were unbeaten guys, all undefeated going in. That's a hell of a stacked card.
Okay, straight up, did Showtime do last night as far as production was concerned? I mean, were they cheerleading for Deontay Wilder in your mind?
It's kind of hard not to because the explosive power. And when you get that kind of excitement, when you know you're going to get that kind of excitement from Deontay, yes, they do a little bit, but I don't blame them. Paulie keeps it honest. He calls it as he sees it, and Mo's got the WWE style, but I like that electricity because it's fun.
Is there any momentum in Showtime Boxing? Is Showtime Boxing going to continue?
As much as I love Showtime Boxing, and I think their announced team is among the best in the business, the future doesn't look very good because Fox, to you guys that don't know, PBC is heavily affiliated with Showtime Networks. PBC means Premier Boxing Champions. It's a brand. It's a stable, okay? And a lot of their fighters now are fighting cards on Fox. Fox has bid heavily into this company, leaving Showtime behind. Showtime just put a lot of money into Deontay Wilder last night, giving him $20 million to take on Dominic Breazeale to keep Wilder from going to the zone. I know this gets very confusing, guys. So, and in other words, they dumped a lot of money into one fighter this year, and that's pretty much their budget. So the long-winded answer to this question is that, Showtime looks to be having a bad year this year and needs to come out strong next year because the writing's on the wall for everything pretty much that of significance to be on Fox from PBC. Anything that Showtime's going to distribute from PBC will be on pay-per-view, unfortunately.
What if I told you there will be no next year for Showtime Championship Boxing? That Showtime Championship Boxing will come to an end this year. I think that the Showtime pay-per-view, they're trying to hold on, hopefully to get a piece of a Tyson Fury or Anthony Joshua fight with Deontay Wilder. That's what they want. They want a piece of that pay-per-view pie. That's where they're willing to invest the $20 million last night. And eventually was a throwaway fight. I mean, that was $20 million thrown away.
Yeah, that's an investment to hopefully get that Joshua fight because Joshua is affiliated with the zone, but he's smart enough to be still a free agent technically. Even though, Eddie Hearn, his business advisor and all that is, heavily in bed with the zone, Joshua wants to keep his options open in the event that there would be a major pay-per-view with, say, a Tyson Fury or Deontay Wilder. And I think we could get that fight before the year's out. I know Showtime wants to because their budget's going to need a nice payday to afford other fights because, again, anything of significance that's going to be on Showtime is going to be on pay-per-view because that budget is just getting eaten alive, especially with big paydays for a fight like we had last night.
Good point. Johnny Signorello will be back later on in the show. Of course, this is the 2-hour edition of Ring Talk Live Worldwide. Sunday, 11 a.m. Pacific time. Right now, 21 and a half minutes past the hour. You are tuned to Ring Talk Live Worldwide on Sports Byline, iHeartRadio, Sirius XM Satellite Radio, Channel 211, the Dan Patrick Channel, like 1,000 other platforms. Bottom line is, you're tuned to the longest-running fight show in history, Ring Talk Live Worldwide. Next up, the Godfather, Larry Merchant.
Want to get into it, man, you know. Like a sex machine, man. Moving, doing it, you know. Can I count it off? 1, 2, 3, 4. Get up, get on up.
From the Godfather of Soul to the retired HBO Godfather, Larry Merchant. Larry, a very good morning to you, sir.
Back at you, Pedro.
Okay, last night a one-punch knockout. Of course, the most famous one-punch knockout maybe in heavyweight history, the most controversial, was that picture of you standing between Cassius Clay's legs, Muhammad Ali's legs when he fought Sonny Liston. But last night, that was a good way to end a nothing fight, wasn't it?
I think it was a superior statement by Wilder. I think he went out with that in mind. And he accomplished it to his credit, and trying to build up the coming major fights, either with Fury or preferably Joshua. And I think it was a performance that said, I'm an American heavyweight, I'm coming to KO you. I know what I do best after fighting Fury, and you can't say nothing except give him all the stars and kudos for achieving it. And now Joshua is coming to Madison Square Garden, and I'm curious to see how this all plays out in terms of which of the three fighters, which two of the three top unbeaten heavyweights will face each other next.
You know, you and I have often talked about the A and B side of the record. Is there an A, B, and a C side to this record? Is Wilder the C side?
Well, no. Well, I would say against Fury, he's an A side. I would say Joshua is probably the A side against Wilder because he's so wildly popular in Britain and generates such huge live gates and revenues that he still is able to push the envelope in terms of who gets to fight at home. But maybe Wilder's demonstration of a power last night will plug him in to give him more credibility to bring that fight to the U.S. Because U.S. can generate so much more revenue in a pay-per-view bout. So I'm just waiting for the fight to happen, and I think it's up to Joshua how this goes. Is he going to fight Fury, which would be an immense event in Britain and resonate around the planet? Or is he going to go directly to Wilder? I don't know. I'm not privy to the discussions, negotiations, whatever.
You know, your former broadcast partner and my former roommate, to an extent, Emmanuel Stewart, said that KOs demand attention. One-punch knockouts really demand attention. Of course, I guess he would know that, especially with Tommy Hearns. But I think that punch last night, the fact that it's going to be all around the world on the internet already is. I think it's going to put a whole lot more stock value in Deontay Wilder than him.
I agree with you. I mean, it's the rarest thing you see in boxing is, you know, between competitors who are nearly on the same level even, for one of them to knock the other guy out in the first round. And so, yes, I mean, it's the kind of knockout that marketers love in the modern age of promoting fights. And maybe Joshua will join the party by doing something similar to Ruiz. I don't know. I think it's choices, it's networks, it's promoters being able to get on the same page, and how do they all make the most money with the least amount of risk, or with the biggest amount of risk?
You know, Godfather, you brought up Andy Ruiz, and I've been chided for fat shaming him, but I was a guy that had to make 139, actually 89 pounds the first time, but 139 pounds for the most part on a 165-pound body. So I sort of don't have a whole lot of, how can I put this, compassion for a guy that shows up with an abundance or a girth, in other words, a gut. You hear where I'm coming from on that? Do you feel me?
Well, I agree on several counts. One is, when a guy comes in and he looks like he's got some talent, which Ruiz does when I have seen him on some undercards with his quick hands. And yet he's got these rolls of roly-poliness on him. You say to yourself, can he be better, and how much better if he gets in shape? And there's another side to this, I think. When you're out there in a prize fight and you're sloppy looking in one way, a fan, I think, is thinking, if he doesn't care enough to get into shape, why should I care enough about him? Why should I spend my money and maybe my emotions on a guy who doesn't care enough about himself to be at his best or as best possible? I mean, and this is a sport when we look at people and we say that guy looks like a heavyweight champion, which certainly Joshua does. I have to say maybe Wilder does too at the moment. And I think it counts. They're trying to sell themselves to the public, to make the public believe that they can go into a prize fight and thrill them in some way and go out there and put it all out there. And so body styles can matter. In the lower divisions, as you suggest, most fighters look like they are elite athletes because they have to make those weights.
Yeah.
But in the heavyweight division, as we've seen, from time to time, guys look sloppy, and they don't survive very often.
Exactly. And somebody said to me, don't you remember two-ton Tony Galento? Yeah, Tony Galento was a bit of a sideshow. But I'll ask you this, Godfather. If Tony Galento was allowed to fight his fight, he said that his corner prevented him from fighting his fight. I remember seeing this interview with him. His corner prevented him from fighting his fight. Joe Louis would have licked him like a stamp no matter what day of the week it was.
Well, you know, he shocked the world when he knocked Joe Louis down in an early round, but Joe Louis got him, and Galento, you know, he looked like a longshoreman and with a pot belly, but he had a really quick and powerful left hook, and he nailed Louis with it. Ruiz, from what I saw, was quick-handed, but I never saw him in which I was jolted by by him jolting somebody impressively.
Okay. Showtime Championship Boxing, Godfather, they spent $20 million last night to get Deontay Wilder to fight Dominic Breazeale, which I think is they overpaid a little bit, but that's their money.
Showtime paid $20 million. Wait, whoa! Showtime paid $20 million for that fight?
No. Showtime gave Deontay Wilder $20 million.
Whoa! Well, yeah. I guess that's a down payment on his loyalty to them.
Good luck.
When all of this heavyweight matter plays itself out, is he going to stand firm on fighting on Showtime in the U.S. at least? I guess if they gave him $20 million for that fight, it means they've got a pretty strong contract on him.
Well, but it was only for one fight. That's my point. Is they don't have like a 4 or 5 fight deal. This is just for the one fight. They gave him $20 million.
You mean they don't even have a 2-fight deal?
No, they don't even have a 2-fight deal. They've only got a 1-fight deal.
Well, that's a lot of money, and then Joshua is with DAZN, and British management. Sure, I don't know how they sort that out.
But he's a free agent. He's a free agent.
If they got $20 million for a one shot on a network, that's pretty strong, and I salute Showtime for taking the shot.
Well, Showtime took their shot. Coming up on a break here, and the Godfather is still with us. Of course, Larry Merchant's on the line from Santa Monica, California. Wow, what can I say about last night's fight? But bang, it was over quick. That's the way it should have went down. When you have a guy that's lesser than you, a lesser fighter in front of you, you're supposed to perform in the manner in which Deontay Wilder performed. Congrats to him. You are tuned to Ring Talk live worldwide on Sports Byline, iHeartRadio, Sirius XM, Satellite Radio, Channel 211, and 1,000 other platforms. Bottom line, and this is Ring Talk.
That is just a fact of life.
Baby, I got that feeling, baby.
Do you have a problem hearing the television? Do you need to crank up the volume so loud your family is screaming at you? Then put on your TV ears. TV Ears has helped millions of people just like you hear TV loud and clear without cranking up the volume. For about $60 with a 30-day free trial, you can get your own set of TV Ears. When you wear TV Ears, you can mute the TV volume for private listening or let others watch TV with you. Order in the next 10 minutes and take us up on our 30-day home trial and very special price. TV Ears is a brand hearing professionals have trusted for more than 20 years. And through this special radio offer, you can get your very own for just $60. Just mention promo code RADIO. So put on your TV ears and make everyone happy. 800-984-4207. 800-984-4207. 800-984-4207. That's 800-984-4207.
Attention to anyone that's written a book or wants to write a book. The process is not that complicated. Take a first step. Even if you write a page a day, you'll build momentum and your book will become a reality. The hard part is getting it published. That's when you need to call Page Publishing. They've got hundreds and hundreds of thank yous from different new authors, just like you. They make the process of publishing your new book and getting it sold online a simple process. You can learn how simple it is right now by calling for your free Page Publishing New Author Submission Kit. One quick 3-minute phone call, that's all it takes to get free information and learn how you can get your book published. Pick up your phone right now and call us 24 hours a day at this number, 800-603-0885, 800-603-0885, 800-603-0885. That's 800-603-0885.
It has been said that everyone has a book in them. But do you have the time or the ability to write your book? Maybe you picked up some skills or had a life experience that you want to pass on in the form of a book to help others. Maybe you want to leave an autobiography for your family. Or maybe you've built a successful business and you want to share your story. At Dorrance Publishing Company, we have professional writers who can help turn your book idea into a finished manuscript quickly and affordably. A Dorrance ghostwriter can provide as much or as little help as you need to complete your book. You'll work directly with your ghostwriter to finish your book faster than you ever could on your own. It's easy to become a published author. Call Dorrance now to learn more.
800-485-6003. 800-485-6003. 800-485-6003. Call right now. That number is 800-485-6003.
I thought I would knock him out in the early rounds, but like I said, he brings excellent condition and he's determined.
Why didn't you go after him to try to knock him out when you knocked him down early in the third round?
I said, why get careless if I've been training for 2 months?
Here's the knockdown. Describe it to us as you see it.
Well, like I told Jimmy, the 1-2 was going to get him all the time. But I wasn't going to get overexcited and play myself cheap. I said, I'll knock him out early if it happens. If not, if it's necessary, I'll go 12 rounds, and I did.
Did you go to school, so to speak, on what happened to Rosario when he knocked him down and then he got knocked out himself?
No, because I knocked down a lot of fighters that still took my time. I'm just getting seasoned through every fight, and I'm pound for pound. I'm the best fighter pound for pound in the world. Bring him on. Bring him on. Mancini, I don't respect your opinion. Come on, baby. I can knock you out.
Well, who are some of the fighters?
Not Whitaker. You could get some, baby. You could get some too, Brian Boo. Jimmy Paul. Tommy Holmes. All your come on with it, baby. Yeah, buddy. Let's hear from you, Larry.
What about Aaron Pryor?
Aaron Pryor, come on with it, baby. I got faith in you. You bounce back. I know you. Come on, baby. Come on with it. It's macho time.
Now, more of Ring Talk with Pedro Fernandez.
I'm going to like you. I'm going to hang you, but I'm going to like you.
June 1985, the Godfather with the Harlem Heckler, Hector Camacho. When I call him the Harlem Heckler, that was a nickname that I gave him that he loved. He actually loved that. He loved it, being called the Harlem Heckler. Bottom line was, Larry, what were you thinking? What goes through your mind when guys come off the wall with comments like that?
Well, I guess I know I'm in showbiz, and if you can feed him some lines to have him keep going, and he's making some sense or just speaking from his belly, that's what I'm thinking. I mean, he was in his time, he was almost the successor to Ali as an original self-promoter. He was a great talent until Edwin Rosario exposed him and beat him up, and he decided at that point in time he was going to be more of a showman than a prize fighter. But he beat some pretty good fighters, and he was a lively part of the 80s scene.
Teofimo Lopez is an undefeated lightweight, originally out of Honduras. Those people are from Honduras, of course, fighting out of Brooklyn now, undefeated. He looks like Camacho to me without the cocaine. And the reason why I say that is Camacho had a long, long battle with cocaine. Of course, when he died that night in Puerto Rico, and Bayamon, Puerto Rico, he was sitting in a car, and there was cocaine all over the car as in the death scene there. So Camacho was a cokehead to the end. But straight up, I think this kid. Have you seen much of him, Teofimo Lopez? Have you got to see much of him?
You know, I believe I've seen him, but not recently. But I've heard from a lot of people that he's possibly the real deal.
And so is this the Inoue, the Japanese
the Japanese fighter.
Yee.
You know, Japanese fighters, they know how to box. They know how to. They come to bang. They're not particularly powerful usually, but this kid can really fight.
He can really fight, of course. Well, it was a pretty good weekend. I mean, DAZN had some boxing, and of course, Showtime had boxing. Boxing's rocking and rolling right now, Godfather. And do you think it's Do you think that they're gonna hurt themselves by not matching these top three heavyweights real soon? In other words, if they drop it out,
I don't know, Pedro. As I've said to you before, it took a couple of years or more to make Leonard Hearns. It's not the first fight that they've let cook until it boils over and everybody's excited about it. But you can jeopardize the fight because you never know what's going to happen. Did I hear correctly last night that he was looking to fight Ortiz again?
Yeah.
That's not a walkover. I mean, maybe he feels that he's fighting on the highest level now, and Ortiz can be an easier out than he was the first time they fought. But it suggests that the big fight ain't going to happen soon. But, when I'm looking around in the various divisions, the middleweight division and the welterweight division, the prospects look awful good for good fights.
I'm looking through the heavyweight division as I speak right now. Some new names: Adam Kaunacki, and Oscar Rivas. Oscar Rivas can fight a little bit. We'll get into him a little bit later on another show, but he can fight a little bit. Of course, Andy Ruiz Jr., Dillian White. I can't believe they still have Fresh Kendall up here. But the guy that's probably the dark horse here, or the guy that's probably going to make a lot of impact, I think, is Oleg Usyk, the upcoming cruiserweight title holder. He was hurt and he's injured, and his heavyweight debut is not going to take place in about 3 or 4 weeks. But I think he's got the goods, Godfather.
Well, cruiserweights fight at 200. That means he could probably come in a fight without losing too much of his quickness. But fighting around 215-ish to 220. That's big, if not as big as the big guys today. And if he can take a punch, he can be a serious force in the heavyweight division, or at least a realistic opponent for one of the supersized top three.
Let's switch gears. Talk about Manny Pacquiao, the Godfather, retired HBO Godfather. Larry Merchant is with us. We're blessed to have him, of course, each and every week. Larry, what about Manny Pacquiao and Keith Thurman? You and I have talked about this on the phone off the air. There are actually some people that think that Manny Pacquiao's got a real good shot at winning here, but he's 40 years old.
Well, Thurman is such a mysterious character. Certainly, fighting a guy like Pacquiao is a big opportunity for him to look as good as he has looked, which is pretty darn good. And so maybe that will get his attention, and we will get 100% effort from him. Because I think if he is at his best, he should be too much for Manny at this stage of the game. Also, I heard from somewhere that they're talking about Danny Garcia fighting Mikey Garcia, that Mikey wants to stay up in the welterweight divisions. It's a little disappointing because we all want to see him Mikey fight Lomachenko. But, hey, you'd have to see that fight.
Well, Mikey wants to stay at welterweight because he was so successful that first time.
Yeah, right.
Didn't win a round. Didn't win a minute. The Godfather, let's be honest, he didn't win 1 minute of one round.
Well, I'm not going to go that far, but I'm not going to dispute you either. He lost every round, or might have won one early round. But I guess he's made enough money that he didn't have to go back down to the lightweight divisions. I thought at least. And maybe this is just a setup for something good at your junior welterweight division, where I hear Ramirez might fight Hooker, which would be a hell of a good fight. Mm-hmm. So things are cooking, and when the heavyweights decide, the big guys decide to fight each other, that'll just be a pile of maraschino cherries on top of the pie.
Okay. I got a question coming here via text. Should boxers be tested for steroids, in your opinion? Performance-enhancing drugs?
Should it?
Should they? Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
The Charlo brothers have pulled out of their voluntary testing and this kind of stuff, and I thought the WBC, who I think they're the champions of one of their weight classes, that they were big on this drug testing thing, but evidently they look the other way.
Right, which is what they do. You know, they're pure and reformed until a fighter they can make some money with decides that he is going to abandon that stance. It's a business, and these guys are making deals as it's a business, and boxing can be particularly hurt by one of these late drug test failures, unlike other sports, because you've got a promotion, you got people making big plans to go to a good fight, and all of a sudden there's no good fight. So I get it, but I believe in the tests. Although I also believe that they help prize fighters less than is generally believed.
Well, with stuff like EPO and stuff that you inject into your body, that it increases your ability to absorb oxygen. In other words, you can recover in 20 seconds faster than a normal athlete. That's a good advantage, Godfather. I think theoretically that's correct, but I also think that over time, from what I've observed of elite athletes who have occasionally been caught, as Roy Jones was once, as Shane Mosley was once, I didn't see where it helped them. And secondarily, where the real problem comes from average fighters, B-level fighters who want to be B pluses or A's. And in that category, according to people and experts that I've talked to, they've never seen an unknown fighter suddenly materialize as a force in the game because he was on illegal drugs. Good point, Godfather. Of course, over the years, Evander Holyfield had steroids delivered to his house via Federal Express, and there was a time when he couldn't fight, according to the Nevada State Athletic Commission, because his heart was beating irregularly. Then Dr. Benny Sim, or whatever that guy's name was, came in and blessed Holyfield, and all of a sudden Holyfield was fighting again. So, Holyfield definitely one of the guys that's surrounded in steroids. But when you look back, I think
in the pre steroid era, there were some fighters that were using, before it was recognized as a threat to the sport. Evander was a light heavyweight when he came out of the Olympics, and he tried to build himself up, and he did, and had probably used some steroids to help him build up to a small heavyweight in the modern era. I don't deny that. But I think the right thing to do is, both for credibility in the public and so on, is to enforce the rules.
Godfather, have a blessed Sunday. Say hello to the Godmother for me. I thank you so much for your time, sir.
Thank you, Pedro.
The great Larry Merchant, Hall of Famer extraordinaire on Ring Talk Live Worldwide.
Come on over here, man. He's been here before. He broke records here before. He's a legend of the sport. And it'd be my honor to fight him next.
Baby, give it up. Don't lose.
Hey, travelers, do you want to save money on your next flight? Then pick up the phone and call. That's right, call, because the best prices are not online. They're with SmartFares. See, SmartFares has special deals with the airlines. When they have unsold seats, they use SmartFares to fill them. So you get airline tickets at ridiculously low prices. Our prices are too low to publish online. With the extra money you'll save, you can book another trip, or treat yourself to dinner or shopping. So stop searching all of those travel sites to find the lowest price on your next flight. Let one of our SmartFares expert travel agents find ridiculously low prices for you. Call SmartFares today and get the best price on your next flight. Guaranteed. Also, save up to 50% off business and first-class tickets.
855-325-1780. 855-325-1780. That's 855-325-1780.
Not too long ago, it felt good to withdraw your cash from the bank, didn't it? For a vacation or a new car. But today, withdrawing your own cash has become risky. Pat Boone here for Swiss America. According to The Secret War, a new Swiss America white paper, I learned that all banks are now required to spy on you and me for the government, and then report any financial behavior deemed suspicious or unusual. You must read The Secret War. It's free. Truth is, I believe the government's new war against cash is really a war against us all. But The Secret is now out. So please, get and read The Secret War.
Pick up your phone and call right now. 800-932-5517. 800-932-5517. 800-932-5517. Once again, that's 800-932-5517. It has been said that everyone has a book in them. But do you have the time or the ability to write your book? Maybe you picked up some skills or had a life experience that you want to pass on in the form of a book to help others. Maybe you want to leave an autobiography for your family. Or maybe you've built a successful business and you want to share your story. At Dorrance Publishing Company, we have professional writers who can help turn your book idea into a finished manuscript quickly and affordably. A Dorrance ghostwriter can provide as much or as little help as you need to complete your book. You'll work directly with your ghostwriter to finish your book faster than you ever could on your own. It's easy to become a published author. Call Dorrance now to learn more. 800-485-6003. 800-485-6003. 800-485-6003. Call right now. That number is 800-485-6003.
Now, more of Ring Talk with Pedro Fernandez.
We can all be quiet and peaceable and have a few beers together and listen to the music and not make any wrong moves.
Talk a little bit about Hector Camacho, the Harlem Heckler, the Macho Man. Call him what you want. Bottom line was he was an outstanding fighter, I thought. I mean, until cocaine got involved. Yeah, cocaine. Larry talked about it being the left hook of Edwin Rosario, but I really thought that it was cocaine. Of course, he messed around with coke as a kid, but as an adult, Hector had an addiction. I mean, he was just addicted to blow. You get a guy addicted to cocaine, and you combine that with a professional boxing career, and it's probably not going to bring dividends to you. Anyway, 79-6 was Camacho, 38 KOs. Last fought in 2010, died in 2012 when he was shot to death. Basically, he was the byproduct of a robbery attempt. They went to rob a drug dealer. He was in the car with them. He got shot. Guess what? The drug dealer's not dead, just Camacho. Speaking of Camacho, guess who was fighting last night? No, not Hector Camacho Jr. Hector Camacho, not Hector Camacho Sr., Hector Camacho Jr. That's right, Jr. They call him Macho Tom. I call him a piece of work. Anyway, the bottom line is 59-7 and 133 KOs. He knocked out a guy named Victor El Pollo, El Chicken Abreu. Abreu came in at 9-5 with 5 KOs. He left at 9-6. No surprise there. Guess where Hector Camacho Jr. is fighting these days? No, not in Madison Square Garden, not in the Felt Forum, not even in Barclays Center. He's fighting in the PAL gym in Hockinson, Delaware. Straight up, that's where he belongs. What can I say? Not impressed with Hector Camacho Jr. Haven't talked to him since I sat next to him at the Bernard Hopkins Felix Trinidad fight back in 2001. I was in the Garden. Haven't talked to him since then, but he was such a waste. Just a waste of talent, no doubt about it. Check it. You are tuned to Ring Talk Live Worldwide. This is hour number 1 of 2. for Sunday, May 19th, 2019. The second hour, of course, live on sportsbyline.com and about 1,000 other platforms. Straight up, we will talk MMA and boxing in hour number 2 as well. We'll bring back Johnny Sig. Maybe hear some Ali as well. Bottom line is you're tuned to Ring Talk Live Worldwide. There's 1,000 things you can be doing right now, but you listen to hour number 1 of Ring Talk Live Worldwide. Come back for hour number 2 on Sports Byline.
For over 30 years, and still your inside look into boxing and mixed martial arts.
What the hell's going on out here?
Heard live around the world and brought to you by the World Boxing Organization.
Yeah.
And now, live from the Ring Talk studios in San Francisco, here's the host of the longest-running fight show in history.
Down goes Breazeale! Down goes Breazeale! And Foreman is as poised as can be!
Pedro Fernandez.
Damas y caballeros, bienvenidos. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to hour number 2 of Ring Talk Live Worldwide on the Sports Byline Broadcast Network. And yes, the man was correct in that lofty introduction. Isn't it pretty cool? He does such a great job of that. Of course, he's my great producer, Scott Cuddy, and my name is Pedro Fernandez. Of course, a 4-time San Francisco Golden Glove champion. Placed number 13 in the Olympic process back in 1984, if that means anything. But the bottom line was I finished on my feet against a guy that was a guy in Vincent Webb. Maybe you don't know much about Vincent Webb. I'll tell you a little story about Vincent Webb real quick before we go to the break. Anyway, he was ended up to be a St. Louis, Missouri fireman. But he was tough as nails. I mean, he just was. You could strike a match on his chest. That's how tough that guy was. Anyway, enough about Vincent Webb. We're talking MMA in this hour. Of course, the UFC rocking and rolling. And, of course, we'll bring in Johnny Signorella at 20 minutes past the hour to talk some more boxing. So we've got boxing, we've got UFC, we've got open phone lines. You can join us if you want. This is your show. 1-800-878-7529. That's 1-800-878-7529. We can continue to discuss, of course, the mega punch that was thrown by Deontay Wilder last night, knocking out Dominic Breazeale in the first round. More power to him, okay? You got to give him some props because Larry Merchant didn't want to admit it in hour number 1, but I think he's the C side of the record. Wait, there's only an A side and a B side of the record. What I'm trying to say is I think that money-wise, Tyson Fury generates more money and Anthony Joshua generates more money than does Deontay Wilder. But last night, that one-punch knockout, that put a lot of stock value back in the kid from Mobile, Alabama. You're tuned to Ring Talk Live Worldwide. The hour number 2 of Ring Talk comes to you on Sports Byline by the World Boxing Organization. Check them out online, WBSSBoxing.com.
Okay, so you're heartbroken. You sit around moping, crying. You say you even thinking about dying? Well, before you do anything rash.
Guys, you manscape, right? You know, tidy up below the belt, trim the Yeti. Every guy knows the tree stands taller when the shrubs are trimmed. And 9 out of 10 women said they prefer their men manscaped. But you got to use the right tools for the jewels, or you look like you clear-cut the forest with a machete. And Nixon cuts are the last thing the twins down south need. Pop over to my buds at manscaped.com and check out their Perfect Package 2.0 featuring the lawnmower, which is the perfect tool for below-the-waist grooming. It's rechargeable and waterproof, so you can use it in the shower. Manscaped invented skin-safe technology that won't nick or snag Mars or Uranus, which hurts like the dickens when Jupiter ascends. Order your Perfect Package 2.0 featuring all the right tools for the jewels and get 20% off plus free shipping and a free travel bag. Pop over to manscaped.com and enter promo code RING for 20% off plus free shipping and a free travel bag. Manscaped.com, promo code RING. That's promo code RING at manscaped.com.
Having fun together adds up, and so do the savings at Kohl's with an extra 15% off. Save on family fun matching graphic tees, just $7.64 and $8.49. Hit the beach with women's flip-flops, and new beach towels, each just $11.04. Plus, take 25% off select Adidas and Converse. Plus, get Kohl's Cash. Friday through Sunday at Kohl's. Select styles, 15% offer valid May 13th through 19th with promo code SAVENOW. Some exclusions apply. See store or Kohl's.com for details.
Hi, it's Flo. And you know what word I don't get? Shampoo. The first half of the word is sham, and the second part you definitely don't want to see in the shower. That's why I made up a neat word, flotection. The feeling of security you get when your new house is protected by home insurance through me and Progressive. I mean, seriously, shampoo? What part of that makes you want to rub it all over your hair?
Save an average of 17% on car insurance when you bundle home and auto through Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Discount not available in all states or situations.
Now you can fly anywhere in the world and pay discount prices on your airline tickets. Book a flight today to London, Paris, Madrid, or anywhere else you want to go. And pay a lot less guaranteed. Call the International Travel Department right now at Low Cost Airlines.
800-754-4531. 800-754-4531. That's 800-754-4531.
Here comes the decision now. Let's listen.
Clarity in the world of professional boxing is spelled WBO. That's right, the World Boxing Organization is boxing's only transparent sanctioned body. You can follow the WBO on Facebook or check out their website, WBOboxing.com. That's WBOboxing.com. The World Boxing Organization.
Has done it. We have a new heavyweight champion in the world.
Now, back to Pedro Fernandez with the MMA Hour.
The UFC invaded Rochester, New York for Saturday night, the Blue Cross Arena. 8,000 people paid. $643,000 was the live gate. Of course, the UFC just 1 week removed from UFC 237, occurring down there. And, of course, the country that brought us UFC, Breazeale. Bottom line is we'll get back to UFC 237 in a minute. But last night, you know, the former lightweight champion, Rafael Dos Santos, now 29-11. He's a guy I can give a lot of props to. I mean, he's an accomplished fighter, no doubt about it. Got all kinds of different skills. I mean, the guy's is not some guys are one-dimensional. He's definitely not a one-dimensional fighter. Anyway, the bottom line is, when he was lightweight champion, I thought that was about all that he could bite off. And now he's fighting at welterweight. Lightweight was 155. Welterweight is 170 pounds. So last night he was in the main event against a guy named Kevin Lee. I think Kevin might have been the slight favorite there, coming to us from Detroit, Michigan. Anyway, Kevin Lee, a loser in the fourth round, is submission. Arm triangle choke. The winner, Rafael Dos Santos. Let's go to the octagon.
Ladies and gentlemen, the end comes officially. 3 minutes, 47 seconds. Round number 4, submission by arm triangle. For your winner out of Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, Rafael Dos Santos.
I'm here with your winner, Rafael Dos Santos. Rafael, beautiful performance. You guys were going back and forth. Ultimately, you went in there and got that beautiful finish. I imagine you got to be happy to come in here and get that tonight.
Yeah, man. First of all, I want to give all the glory to my Savior, Jesus Christ. Without him, I could do nothing. I'm 34 years old, 40 professional fights, 27 UFC appearances. And I know I took Kevin Lee. It's a new guy, young kid coming up division. And I'm just happy to have these guys here. Giovanni, Jason, Felipe Della Monica, Bryce, this guy with me. I'm a blessed man.
Well, listen, you knew you were going to have to weather an early storm from Kevin Lee, and you did just that. Did things go exactly how you kind of planned? It came out hard early, and it seemed like you really gathered your momentum towards the later rounds in the third and fourth.
Yeah, I knew he would come strong in the first round, and he pushed through the third, and I was just using my experience. Jason Parillo told me to do a little adjustment on the fourth, make a huge difference. Stick more my jab, don't load too much my punches. I started letting go more. I was able to, work my takedowns. And man, I was need that victory, I want to send a big hug for my family, my wife Chris, my little baby Roger, 8 months old yesterday, Rafinha, Gustavo. That love you guys.
Oh, yeah, I've been watching the countdown and all that stuff and seeing you with your family. Great family, man. Hey, speaking of which, let's take a look at some of this beautiful performance so you can take some of this money back to your family. As soon as you got this, stuffed this takedown, it seemed like he broke just a little bit. Did you feel that?
Yeah, I was feeling he was getting comfortable on the clinch, putting me against the fence, but I was taking my time and taking his energy. I used a little bit of my experience, my cage experience. My last 3 fights, I fought 5 rounds with the best guys in the world. So he gave me a lot of credentials, a lot of experience for situations like that.
Well, listen, you've shined in the welterweight division. It's wide open right now. It's a crazy division. Is anybody out there that you'd like to face next?
No, anybody, like Coach said. I know that I have what it takes to be a world champion. I just want to be ready for the right opportunity. I'll be ready to take advantage of it.
Wow. What a fight last night. No doubt about it. You got to give him all kinds of props. Dos Janos. That's the way he wants his name pronounced. Of course, the Brazilian native, Breazeale. Former lightweight champion, now fighting at 170. I've always thought that, moving up 15 pounds is just like crazy. I couldn't move up 15 pounds and fight. I just couldn't do it. In other words, if my peak was 140 pounds to 139 pounds, the junior welterweight limit, and I had to move up 15 pounds to the next weight class, listen, I couldn't move up 8 pounds to the welterweight class and fight there. I mean, I could fight the guys from Fresno and the guys from Oxnard and guys like that, the stiffs from around the state of California. But when it came to world-class welterweights, they were just too big for me. I was a junior welterweight. Anyway, bottom line is, got to give him some props. Rafael Dos Anjos, 29-11, 40 pro fights as an MMA artist. Now, I go back to last week's card, of course, coming to you from Brazil. Jessica Andrade basically slammed Rose Namajunas and took the women's strawweight championship away from her in the second round after a very competitive first round. But I brought this up, and I sort of maybe be laboring on this point, but I want to get this across to you, that the UFC is about to become what the WWE is. In other words, the WWE is all about Vince McMahon. He calls every shot. He approves every interview. Every intricate matter as far as the UFC productions are concerned is the WWE productions is called, Vince McMahon calls all the shots. All the shots. So now we've got Dana White, and they're not interviewing big-time fighters like Brock Lesnar. They didn't go to Brock Lesnar and say, hey, Brock, why didn't you sign with the UFC? Maybe because the UFC didn't want to give him enough money? Or maybe the UFC didn't want to give him a cut of the pie? When I mean a cut of the pie, if this thing went to pay-per-view, I'm talking about Brock Lesnar challenging the world heavyweight champion, Daniel Cormier, a former light heavyweight title holder. Now he's going to defend in a nothing fight against a former champion, although he's a former champion. That's all Stipe Miocic brings to the dance. He's a former champ. This is not something that's going to sell pay-per-views. It's not going to generate interest, maybe amongst people from the area in which these two fighters come from. But as far as a world-class audience wanting to tune in and watch this on the big bucks, for the big bucks on pay-per-view, probably not. This ain't happening that way. Anyway, Daniel Cormier wanted to defend. He said he had 2 fights left. That's what I kept hearing him saying. He had 2 fights left. One was with John Jones, who's licked him twice. Both fights were somewhat suspicious, and maybe steroids were involved. I know one of them was for sure, of course, and he's never lost anything outside of that. He hasn't. But that was his one super fight. The other super fight was with the aforementioned WWE wrestler Brock Lesnar. Now, Brock Lesnar, of course, wants big bucks. And why not? Because when he steps into these events, the pay-per-view numbers go up dramatically. And the UFC is hurting for pay-per-view numbers. How can I say that? Well, they had a pay-per-view. One of their recent pay-per-views did under 100,000 homes. That's right, 70,000 homes. That one with Kelvin Gastelum about 3 weeks ago did 70,000 homes on pay-per-view. Not good numbers, man. I'm not saying they're not going to make a buck off that, but it's not good numbers. Speaking of making a buck, going back to Dana running the show, it's all about Dana now. All the interviews are with Dana. I don't want to see interviews with Dana White. I've known Dana White since he came to Las Vegas when he was run out of East Boston by the Mafia. That's right. Listen, the mob ran him out. They did. They went to his gym. He was running this little amateur boxing gym, had a few pros in it in Boston. They said to him, hey, Whitey Bulger's guy said, hey, we want $2,500 a month protection money. And he says, hey, I can't give you $25 or not even 50. I don't have any money. I'm broke. I'm running a boxing gym here. Anyway, they didn't take too kindly to that, and basically they ran Dana White out of town. So that's how Dana ended up in Las Vegas, how he hooked up with the Fertitta brothers, of course, and they own the Station Casinos. That's why they bid the money and came up with the money to buy the UFC. Now, the UFC, I got to give the Fertittas and Dana a lot of credit, was that it lost a lot of money at first. $35 million. $35 million going in. That's what they were down before they turned a profit. $35 million. But they sold the UFC for $4.2 billion. and I think they only paid a couple of million for it. So that's quite an appreciation for your investment. More power to them, but still, I think that they've been ripping fighters off. And as I said it before, it's all about Dana now. Rose Namajunas was sent down there to Breazeale to face this possibly unbeaten girl in Jessica Andrade. I mean, unbeatable is what I meant as far as Rose was concerned. Although they had even first round, Rose probably was going to beat this girl. No way, no how. But didn't she deserve an easy fight after beating the best fighter at 115 in 2 fights in a row in upsets? No. If you upset the apple cart in the UFC, they throw you to the lions. And they threw Rose Namajunas to the lions. Bottom line is, that's Dana White, the piece of work that he is. You are tuned to the mighty Sports Byline Broadcast Network. Next up, Mr. Las Vegas John Signorella on the Sports Byline Broadcast Network.
You sure know your boxing? Well, all I know is never bet on the white guy.
You're listening to the MMA Hour.
If you or a loved one is suffering from a physical or emotional condition that has left you unable to work, then listen carefully. Take this number down. 800-593-7491. That's 800-593-7491. When you call, you'll speak with a Social Security disability expert and get a free evaluation to see if you may qualify for disability insurance benefits from the U.S. government. That's right, a monthly cash payment paid directly to you from the Social Security Administration. Whether you're applying for the first time or you've already been denied disability benefits, call now. The disability attorneys at Pinnacle Disability can help you build your case, file an appeal, and represent you at no upfront cost to you. Don't wait another minute to see if you may qualify for your Social Security disability benefits. Call Pinnacle Disability Group at 800-593-7491 for your free case evaluation. That's 800-593-7491. 800-593-7491. Call now.
Where do you want to go on a vacation or honeymoon? The Caribbean, Europe, Hawaii, Mexico? How about Disney or a cruise? At Superior Cruise and Travel, we've got you covered. We'll assign you your own travel concierge. They'll help you design a custom vacation plan that you can't find online. And the service is completely free. You can't compare the value of this to any other online travel company. We can help you plan a custom vacation anywhere in the world. We even offer payment plans with no credit card required. Now you pay off your vacation on your time schedule. Call now and mention the promo code RADIO and save up to $500. Book your custom trip. Call Superior Cruise and Travel now and talk to one of the highest rated travel agencies in the country with a 5-star A+ online rating.
800-570-9631. 800-570-9631. 800-570-9631. That's 800-570-9631.
Imagine this is your money and someone wants to take it from you. Who is it? The IRS. They want your money, and guess what? They can legally take it, all of it if they want. Remember, they sent you that letter that said, hey, you owe us a bunch of cash and we're going to take it from you. So what do? Fight back by letting our team of experts at the tax helpline work it out with the IRS so you can keep your money. And we're good at what we do. When you hire us, you get a team of guys on your side that know the IRS laws and will fight to save your money. So if you owe the IRS a ton of cash and you want to keep it, call right now and learn for free how we can help you put it back in your pocket.
800-932-1749. 800-932-1749. 800-932-1749. That's 800-932-1749.
Now, more of the MMA Hour with Pedro Fernandez.
Check it, folks. The man with the hands of stone was in the City of Angels this week. I'm talking about Roberto Duran. Of course, they had a Friday gig for one of his latest documentaries. Of course, the man with the hands of stone, I Am Duran. The bottom line is, if you look at boxing in the whole picture, as far as the greatest fighters of all time, there's no way you cannot come across without saying he's in the top 5 without a doubt. But Hands of Stone still has all his hair, and that's what's blowing my mind is that Roberto Duran was standing next to his ex-manager, Hector Martinez, and Freddie Martinez, his 2 managers, and me and us and stuff. And the bottom line is we're all hurting for hair, and there's Roberto with more hair than – if he give us all his hair, we'd have enough hair for all 4 of us. Bottom line is Roberto Duran looking great Friday in L.A., and I want to give him props. 69 years old now, going to be 70 in June. And, yes, the man with the Hands of Stone no longer has hands of stone per se, but he doesn't have a belly of jelly either. In other words, he isn't a fat pig. Some people thought he'd get up and get gross and go up to like 250, 260 pounds. No, Roberto's kept himself together, and I give him props. Roberto Duran and his managers, Hector Martinez and Freddie Martinez, reunited after 20 years in the City of Angels Friday. More props to all 3 of them. You are tuned to the Mighty Sports Byline broadcast, and we're time to bring in Mr. Las Vegas himself. I'll talk about John Signorella. And John, I'm going to fat shame you to an extent because I'm going to fat shame myself to an extent because, you and I both had to push away things from the dinner table because we got a little tubby and put on a little bit of weight, this and that. So I think if I can admit that I'm fat and you can admit that you were fat for a bit there, we can dog Andy Ruiz.
That's why I'm a little sympathetic. When I go back to New Jersey, I always try to lean myself out because since I moved to Vegas 5 years ago, the people back in Jersey always remember me as an athlete. So if I start getting that buffet belly before I go back home, bro, I'm like, I got to chin check this stuff. I got to get rid of this belly. But, Andy Ruiz, I knew you were going to go there with me today. I think he's a decent boxer, even though he doesn't look the part, right? Anthony Joshua is a guy that looks the part. He looks like he's chiseled from stone, a Greek god, if you will, right? But Andy Ruiz is the complete opposite. Now, don't get it twisted. Joshua's going to do his thing in this fight. But I think Andy Ruiz is a better opponent than the original guy that was slated, Big Baby Miller. Andy Ruiz is going to give us 100%. He's going to throw punches. He's going to be a good showcase for Anthony Joshua, and it's going to get the world buzzing about Deontay Wilder. I was looking at footage just now. ESPN released last night that knockout that Wilder put on Breazeale. It's up to over several million views. If no one knew who Deontay was last night, they know who he is today.
Deontay Wilder, the bronze bomber, 2008 Olympic bronze medalist, of course, in the Olympics, and now the WBC title holder. Now, 42 fights, 1 draw. Got to give him a little bit of props for staying undefeated. I mean, nobody says that he's not a talented young man. I mean, I do. I think he's 33 years old now. I'm not saying he isn't talented, but I think he's more, although he showed a little boxing ability last night, I think he's more the street fighter than he is the boxer, Johnny.
I agree, and we saw it when he got clipped last night that, like I said, in hour number 1, he gets very electric. He gets very fiery, and he gets in there, he tries to go for the kill. Now, we like that, and we shame fighters when they don't do that. And so it's almost like, what do you want to see? I understand he's going to get hit. I do like last night that he was shooting straight shots more than I've ever seen him throw, with the exception of the Burnus to Burn fight in fight number 1. If he's more cognizant in doing so, that will serve him well in the next Fury fight if we get it. That will serve him well in the next Joshua fight if we get it. And I do think we're going to get that fight sooner than later because there's just too much money involved.
I think the punches he threw, the right hands that Deontay Wilder hurled against, and he hurled them against Tyson Fury. He tried to curve him. He tried to go over the glove of Tyson Fury, and he couldn't do it. Okay, he couldn't loop over that. So, props to him last night for putting it together and taking out a guy that he should have took out. But did you hear Larry Merchant almost spit up his coffee when I told him that he got $20 million for last night's fight?
Yeah, man. Like I said, Showtime wants to keep him because that's all they got right now. Like I was explaining in hour number 1 with all the confusion that's going on with networks and money, Showtime is hanging on for dear life. And a guy like Deontay Wilder, they're investing in to hopefully save their network to gain, financially be gainful going into next year because they are on life support for sure. And that happened sooner than I thought it would.
Well, I think that the apps are putting some heat on them, without a doubt. The apps are putting some heat. And, of course, these cards going to Fox, that's PBC. They've got a big stable of fighters. I guess he's making some money now, or at least breaking even. Do you think he's breaking even? I mean, he spent like $500 million. Do you think he's breaking even yet, Al Heyman?
I heard he's trying to dump the company, to be honest with you. Some rumblings behind the scenes is I think what he's doing here is trying to build the Fox brand And once he gets it to a point where, like, say, the UFC did for, like, an ESPN thing, like, almost like a mirror image of that, and try to get rid of it and just go his own direction. But these are rumblings I hear from kind of reliable sources. I'll say that 80% of the time those sources come through, and 20, it falls flat on its face. But I could kind of see that, right? He's getting older. He doesn't like dealing with media. He never deals with media, in fact, meaning Al Heyman. And, at this point in time, he's built the brand. Fox is heavily invested. We see where it goes. I would be interested in seeing if at some point in time there could be a marriage between the PBC and ESPN, because that would just be a boxing empire.
Okay. Now, the UFC, since they signed this deal with ESPN and ESPN Plus, the app, they are not, how can I put this, seemingly putting their best talent on pay-per-view if they have their best talent per se. But when you look at the fact that there are better fights on ESPN than there are on pay-per-view, does that mean the future of the UFC is going to go totally to apps? Is that where you see this going, or will the UFC stay with some pay-per-view marketing forever?
Well, that's a great question, and I like what you were touching on before I came on about the UFC and their business model right now. I think they should stay off the pay-per-views for a while, because you look at the numbers that went out. Okay, last time out, I think they drew 70,000 pay-per-view buys. That is shameful, man. That is shameful. There's other, fight outlets on pay-per-view, like guys in high-top sneakers, boxing with glass taped to their gloves that, the bottom of the barrel type of pay-per-view out there that they put out there for $11.95 in some of the backyards, doing more buys than that. So in other words, the UFC got to slow their roll. They're building this new thing with ESPN and their relationship, cutting the cable companies out and saying, okay, you can only get us through the app. Now, to my understanding, 3 million people subscribe to ESPN Plus's app, right? But it's asking them a lot to just figure out now. You have to come in through here. This is the way you order it. So all that aside, too, you need talent, Pedro. At the end of the day, was last week as good as the card was last week? I didn't mind it. I thought Andrade looked good last week, with that body slam. Was that worth $50, $60? No, absolutely not. Is the card coming up at $239? John Jones, Santos, you have a nice undercard with Nunes and Holly Holm, Nagano and Dos Santos. Yeah, that's worth $50. But you can't do that once a month where you get a card that is not like $239 and you're fleecing the fans, because the numbers are going to get lower and lower and lower.
13 fights on their card last night that was topped by Rafael Dos Anjos stopping Kevin Lee with that submission. 13 different fights, 26 fighters. But guess what? You can't name another fighter on that card. You don't know anybody. There are a lot of no names now. I mean, how can I put this? They're turning this into the Dana show, and I know you're a big Vince McMahon fan. So, but I got to tell you, would you really want to see the UFC all about Dana? In other words, that's what it seems to be. It's now that they've got this guaranteed money from the ESPN, they don't need to go get a Brock Lesnar. They don't have to put together super fights. In other words, they can get by.
Yeah, they're sitting on a lead. You took the words right out of my mouth with that. And that's the thing, is they stack these cards. There's 97 people on these cards, man. It's unreal. It's too much. And like you said, with no names, the people will be like, well, they have to earn a name, so they have to be on television. But you're burning out the fan. Stretch it out a little bit. I mean, there was some talent last night. Felicia Spencer looked good. She's unbeaten. There's a couple people that are coming up. I would focus more on trying to build brands on people, because like you said right there is no superstars right now. I mean, Khabib is, but it's surrounded with a little bit of controversy. And, let's face facts. I mean, yeah, he's suspended, and he's an intriguing guy in that we know that he wrestles bears and he's intimidating. But the thing is, he doesn't do much media, and so the people are not going to be able to identify with him like they could with a Conor McGregor. Now, Conor's making his whiskey, and let's face facts, man. Conor is probably past his best at this point in time. So who are we looking at? Who are we turning to? Where's the Ronda Rousey, Where's the Brock Lesnar? And that's what the UFC is struggling with right now, I believe.
I mean, coming back with the heavyweight championship, I still have a lot of props for Stipe Miocic, but Miocic and Cormier doesn't get my juices flowing like Brock Lesnar and Cormier would.
Oh, absolutely, I agree. And Miocic is good, but he's not Brock. Then when Brock comes out with that music and just looking all badass and everything, he's capable of, or he's going to get caught and take some shots, and he's going to be in for a fight. I mean, that guy walks into a room, whether you know him or not, you're going to look over and be like, man, that's an intimidating dude. This guy's here to kick some butt, right? So that fight, to me, would have definitely been a fight for the revival of the UFC in terms of superstar mega fight appeal.
I give a lot of respect for Brock Lesnar. I mean, nobody likes to get hit in the face, but man, he fought Shane Carwin, and although he turned his back on Shane hit him like 85 or 90 times in the head. It was pretty and amazing that Brock Lesnar came out and won in the second round. So Brock is a true warrior, whether he's a professional wrestler or not. He is the real deal. Speaking of the real deal, coming up on a hard break here on the Sports Byline Broadcast Network, open phone lines around the planet. You can join the great Johnny Sig, the undefeated Johnny Sig of Las Vegas, myself, on the toll-free 1-800-878-7529. That's 1-800-878-7529. Or you can text us. Text line here in the studio. Text us here in the studio. We'll answer your text, I promise you. 415-275-1613. Unless you threaten me. Those threats I didn't dig. No, the text line, once again, I'm just kidding. 415-275-1613. You're tuned to the MMA Hour, live, baby, on Sports Byline.
Use your head. Vince McMahon hires the best people and then overpays them so they don't want to leave. That's why he has the best show. That's why everything's first class. That's why he's the best.
You're listening to the MMA Hour.
How about that?
Do you have a problem hearing the television? Do you need to crank up the volume so loud your family is screaming at you? Then put on your TV ears. TV Ears has helped millions of people just like you hear TV loud and clear without cranking up the volume. For about $60 with a 30-day free trial, you can get your own set of TV ears. When you wear TV ears, you can mute the TV volume for private listening or let others watch TV with you. Order in the next 10 minutes and take us up on our 30-day home trial and very special price. TV Ears is a brand hearing professionals have trusted for more than 20 years. And through this special radio offer, you can get your very own for just $60. Just mention promo code RADIO. So put on your TV ears and make everyone happy. 800-984-4207. 800-984-4207. 800-984-4207. That's 800-984-4207.
Attention to anyone that's written a book or wants to write a book. The process is not that complicated. Take a first step. Even if you write a page a day, you'll build momentum and your book will become a reality. The hard part is getting it published. That's when you need to call Page Publishing. They've got hundreds and hundreds of thank yous from different new authors, just like you. They make the process of publishing your new book and getting it sold online a simple process. You can learn how simple it is right now by calling for your free Page Publishing New Author Submission Kit. One quick 3-minute phone call, that's all it takes to get free information and learn how you can get your book published. Pick up your phone right now and call us 24 hours a day at this number, 800-603-0885, 800-603-0885, 800-603-0885. That's 800-603-0885.
At 28, I had struggled with opiate and meth addiction for 12 years. I did and said things that the sober me never would have done. One day I realized I was not invincible. I was not exempt. And that's when a friend told me about elite rehab placement. They gave me the tools I needed to get sober, and all it took was the one phone call.
Elite Rehab can help you start to break your addiction problem and get sober in as little as 7 days. And we'll work with your insurance provider to help cover the costs. Plus, we have travel assistance programs to get you here by plane or train. Make this free call right now to learn more. 800-403-5912. 800-403-5912. 800-403-5912. That's 800-403-5912.
Now, more of the MMA Hour with Pedro Fernandez.
Clap your hands, sir. Stop being racist. Clap your hands.
Heaven help us. A lot of talk of late. In fact, Larry Merchant and I talked about in hour number one about drug testing and boxing. Well, who are the 10 biggest cheats as far as performance-enhancing drugs, flintstone vitamins, call them what you want. How about Evander Holyfield? Yeah, 44-10, 29 KOs, a couple of draws, 4-time world heavyweight champion. He had so many different drugs of choice. There was testosterone, Sizon, which is HGAs, Glucor, which is treatment for impotence, but yet he was treated for impotence and he had 11 children. So I don't know how he did that. Anyway, Roy Jones Jr., of course, he tested positive for andro, and that wasn't too cool. But then again, he was fighting Richard Hall, and they sort of negotiated a settlement to that one. They didn't get a whole lot of headlines except here on this radio show. Shane Mosley, of course, can I say he passed all his tests prior to fighting Floyd Mayweather Jr., but he had been taking the cream, the clear, and, of course, EPO. And if you look at the YouTube.com, enter Shane Mosley and steroids, they will show you him admitting the fact that he took steroids and the clear and the cream and all that kind of good stuff. Fernando Vargas, of course, took steroids, took Winstraw for Oscar De La Hoya. Ricardo Mayorga, who cares about what he took for something. Anyway, James Toney took it against, was it Ruiz when he fought for the heavyweight title in 2005. And then Vitaly Klitschko, of course, got thrown out of the 1996 Olympics because of steroids. That's right, thrown off the Ukrainian boxing team. And Ivan Drago, I don't know who the hell he is. I remember him 53-1 now, 46 KOs. He killed Apollo Creed. No, he took anabolic steroids. That's a joke. Tommy Morrison, 43-1, 42 KOs. The only thing he tested positive for was HIV cocktails. I kid you not. That's what I found out. That's how they found out he had HIV in Las Vegas. They tested him for a pre-fight thing, and he came back with HIV, and that was the end of his career, the former WBO title holder. And number 10 is Franz Botha, former WBF, World Boxing Federation heavyweight title holder. He liked the Nandro, but he was a bit of a weird dude. He defeated Axel Sosa the title back in 1995, but was disqualified. Now, the reason why I brought up all these druggy guys is my pharmacist has passed away. I'm talking about Harold Letterman. So now, sitting in the pharmacist seat is John Signorella. Now, John, I got to ask you, with your pharmaceutical background, I know you know a little bit about drugs. You can spell them anyway. Why aren't the Charlo brothers taking tests? Well, aren't the Charlo brothers, weren't they part of that revolution? They were going to bring drug testing to boxing?
I can't answer that question because the only way I can really answer it is that you got to be suspect. I'm not them, so I can't answer that. And they kind of tried to throw a weird answer out there that was very politician-like, where they're dancing around the question. I mean, for me, it's like you're hiding something if you're not taking the test, right? And you mentioned a lot of guys there, and there has been so many more, not that we know to be, get the positive test where it's thrown out there in the media, right? But we know that there's so many guys behind the scenes that didn't get caught, and it's scary, and it bothers us so much because, again, like we always say, this isn't baseball. You're not hitting balls. You're hitting guys in their head, and that's super, super dangerous. And a lot of guys in that list, man, those are my heroes. Some of them, Roy Jones, Evander Holyfield. But at the end of the day, I know that there should be asterisks with some of these guys in their records, unfortunately.
Well, Roy Jones, when he fought Richard Hall, I can't remember what state it was. It was some small state. Anyway, they worked out a deal where he donated money to the amateur program or something like that. But I think Richard Hall tested positive as well in that fight as far as some performance-enhancing drugs are concerned. Speaking of performance-enhancing, oh, man, I can't believe this. IBF #1 heavyweight contender Kubrat Pulev attended Tuesday's California City Athletic Commission to appeal a suspension for kissing a female reporter after a post-fight interview. The Athletic Commission lectured the fighter and ruled that he must pay $2,500 and attend and complete a sexual harassment court by July 22nd to have his suspension lifted. Is this for real?
I believe it is. You can't just walk around kissing people, And I think it was trying to be harmless and cute about it, but at the end of the day, if that was my girlfriend, I'd be pissed. If that was my sister, I'd be mad. You don't just walk up to girls and start putting your hands on them. So there definitely should be some kind of penalty, whether it's supposed to be harmless or what. It still should be a penalty.
If that was my sister, that's a coach.
You know what I'm saying? That's my problem. Dude, get your hands off her. You shouldn't be touching her. What's wrong with you? I don't care who you beat.
Okay, John, here's a text coming into you. Looks like this one's from AZ, meaning Arizona. Rate the top 3 heavyweights: Tyson Fury, Anthony Joshua, and Deontay Wilder. If you were to go 1, 2, 3, can you do it?
Say it again. I lost you there for a second.
Can you rate the top 3? Can you rate those? Can you rate those 3 unbeaten heavyweights?
Of course, I'm going to rank Tyson Fury #1 as that he would give everyone a problem with his boxing ability, height, his athleticism for being a big man. And believe it or not, I think he's got some power in there as we saw him, especially in the last round against Wilder. Now, Joshua and Wilder are tied for me. Someone's like, man, that's a cop-out. No, until those two guys face each other, I will determine who the better man is. Who do I think will win that fight? I can answer that question. I think Deontay Wilder, if he throws straight shots like he did last night against Dominic Breazeale, against Anthony Joshua, will catch him. I don't know many men, unlike, what we saw with Tyson Fury, that could get up from that type of power, man. So I do think that Wilder can beat him, but I obviously Joshua is the better boxer.
Is Mikey Garcia running from Lomachenko, talking about fighting somebody else at 147 like Danny Garcia? That's what it looks like to me.
I don't know what Mikey's doing. His business decisions, I think, are terrible. I think they were terrible even prior to the Spence stuff, to get a little winded on this. He's sticking there now. He's going to try to take on Danny Garcia, who is a beatable guy at 147. But the Lomachenko fight is what we want to see. I can't say that Mikey doesn't have balls because he went against, Earl Spence there.
Well, time out. I'm glad you brought it up that way. You thought he showed intestinal fortitude there in that fight through 12 rounds? I tried to get Larry to accent some of his highlights there. I mean, what were his highlights if he had all these BALLs, as you just said? Where were they?
I should say bold and courage in trying to go out there and show up, and obviously it's for pay, because the way he fought, it was obvious that he was there for a paycheck. Intestinal fortitude is different. That's when you dig down deep. That's what you do what Tyson Fury did, who I just mentioned a moment ago, against Deontay Wilder. When you get flattened and you grab your sack and you get back on your feet and you go for broke. What Mikey Garcia did, he just showed up. And it takes courage to know that, you're putting yourself and your life on the line. But Mikey Garcia, in my opinion, I just think he's a wasted talent in a lot of ways. And his career path definitely, at the end of the day, will affect his legacy with what I believe could have been something a little bit more spectacular than what we've seen over the years.
No, what happened was Al Heyman paid him money to sit on the shelf for 2 years, and he got good to him. In other words, you can train in the gym and keep your weight down, this and that, but you don't have to fight people for real. You hear where I'm coming from?
Yeah. I know he also had problems with Bob Arum. I mean, it just always seemed like whoever worked with Garcia and Mikey, they always had an issue, and then he always had an issue back. It just seemed like wherever he went, there was a problem. And if that's carrying over from one promoter and one relationship with a trainer or, et cetera, network, whatever it is, the problem's probably him, because it's like, that can't be a coincidence that everywhere you go, you're just having issues.
No point. Now, let's go back to boxing at 118 pounds. Of course, we talked about Nonito Donaire and his future. If I saw the way Inoue looked last night, I was about to fight Inoue and I was 36 years old, I would be scared to death. But this is Nonito Donaire, the Filipino Flash. I don't know. I think he's such a fighter to the bone. I don't think he thinks that way.
No, he doesn't. And he was absolutely happy that Inoue had won last night, which shows what type of warrior he is and that he wants to go out fighting the best. I think if he wins this fight in Donaire, which, it's very possible. We've seen Donaire do some amazing stuff over his career. And I like the guy. He's a great dude, and he's an advocate for, 24/7, 365 days a year, drug testing. This guy is clean as a whistle, people, and he's a pioneer out there for that sort of protocol. So you only want good things for a guy like that. And we see what we get from him, man. It's going to be a difficult task. I think that if Donaire should get past anyway, he should retire, and that's a definite Hall of Fame career. And he might even be Hall of Fame. I think he should be, as it is, but that gets him in easily.
Okay, so in his last fight, he fought at 122, Nonito Donaire, of course, April 27th, stopping Stephen Young. So he's going to drop down to 118 here. How often does a 36-year-old fighter excel in the lighter weights? I mean, I can't think of any that excel like 118, 122 pounds. Can you think of anybody that old that was at the top of their game?
No, you can't. And that's what's defining logic, and he's doing something special. And, even to this point, his last couple of fights have been at the 118, I believe, and he's getting knockouts in this tournament. And again, that power is always going to be there, and it is exceptional to see, amazing to see a guy to be able to do that. And these lighter weight category guys, they usually don't age age very well, man. So for him to be doing this is definitely the exception to the rule.
Well, they took him into Glasgow, Scotland, in that tournament to take on Ryan Burnett, I think, and Burnett was undefeated. He took care of him, handled him easily.
Oh, I tell you what, did you see Ryan Burnett from Ireland on ESPN on Friday?
No, I didn't miss that. How do you look?
Ooh, he looked good, man. TKO 6 over Chell Gormara at bantamweight, man. And they fought in an arena in Belfast that looked like the Blue Horizon, man. And I had been, if you guys don't know the Blue Horizon, I had been there in Philadelphia. I used to go to fight there with my dad at least once a month back in the day. Tuesday night fights on USA. Used to broadcast fights from this amazing venue. Yeah. Guys, look it up. It's so tight. It's like a theater. And they have balcony seating all around the ring. And that's the best. That's the hottest seat in the house, man. Because you could see angles and things in a live boxing match that you just could not see anywhere else. But Ryan Burnett looks really good. Now 21-0, I believe, 10 KOs.
And he gets stopped by a 35-year-old man. So what does that say about the 35-year-old man?
The exception, right?
The exception to the rule. Well, maybe. He lost to Carl Frampton. I'm talking about Nonito 2 fights ago. So Nonito's on a roll. Of course, 2 fight wins after coming off that Carl Frampton loss. But still, fighting at 36 years old, that's tough. Now, as far as the heavyweight champion of the world is concerned, as far as the UK is concerned, as far as their boy, Anthony Joshua, this Andy Ruiz fight on DAZN, is that going to, and you told me that he only has like a limited contract with DAZN. What does that mean, a limited contract?
A contract, one more time, you broke up again, Pedro.
What does that mean by him having a limited contract? In other words, he isn't signed to DAZN for forever, for like 19 fights?
That's right. He's not signed. He fights to fight, so he could have the freedom of going to an ESPN platform or a Showtime platform. I know the DAZN wants to heavily, keep him in the house like they do with Canelo. Notice how they promoted Canelo that way, but they never did with Joshua. There's a reason for that. Joshua did not want to be just nailed to one network, similar to what Deontay Wilder did not want to do with DAZN. I think that if they're getting, these big offers, they should take them because nothing's guaranteed in life. Next day it's not guaranteed. These guys can lose, but at the end of the day, maybe they're holding out for these big paydays, these one-offs they could do with other networks on pay-per-views that could just light up the financial market in terms of like how much pay-per-view they can actually generate. Because I think when Joshua and Wilder popped off, or imagine Fury and Joshua, those are going to be enormous numbers for pay-per-view.
Johnny Sig, talk to him about the YouTube page.
Hey, check us out on Ring Talk Worldwide on YouTube, archive shows, and much, much more. Everybody, thank you for listening and enjoy your Sunday.
The great John Signorella talking MMA live only on Sports Byline. You are tuned to the mighty Sports Byline Broadcast Network.
You're listening to the MMA Hour.
Not too long ago, it felt good to withdraw your cash from the bank, didn't it? For a vacation or a new car. But today, withdrawing your own cash has become risky. Pat Boone here for Swiss America. According to The Secret War, a new Swiss America white paper, I learned that all banks are now required to spy on you and me for the government, and then report any financial behavior deemed suspicious or unusual. You must read The Secret War. It's free. Truth is, I believe the government's new war against cash is really a war against us all. But the secret is now out. So please, get and read The Secret War.
Pick up your phone and call right now. 800-932-5517. 800-932-5517. 800-932-5517. Once again, that's 800-932-5517. It has been said that everyone has a book in them. But do you have the time or the ability to write your book? Maybe you picked up some skills or had a life experience that you want to pass on in the form of a book to help others. Maybe you want to leave an autobiography for your family. Or maybe you've built a successful business and you want to share your story. At Dorrance Publishing Company, we have professional writers who can help turn your book idea into a finished manuscript quickly and affordably. A Dorrance ghostwriter can provide as much or as little help as you need to complete your book. You'll work directly with your ghostwriter to finish your book faster than you ever could on your own. It's easy to become a published author. Call Dorrance now to learn more. 800-485-6003. 800-485-6003. 800-485-6003. Call right now. That number is 800-485-6003.
Hey, travelers, do you want to save money on your next flight? Then pick up the phone and call. That's right, call, because the best prices are not online. They're with SmartFares. See, SmartFares has special deals with the airlines. When they have unsold seats, they use SmartFares to fill them. So you get airline tickets at ridiculously low prices. Our prices are too low to publish online. With the extra money you'll save, you can book another trip, or treat yourself to dinner or shopping. So stop searching all of those travel sites to find the lowest price on your next flight. Let one of our SmartFares expert travel agents find ridiculously low prices for you. Call SmartFares today and get the best price on your next flight. Guaranteed. Also, save up to 50% off business and first-class tickets.
855-325-1780. 855-325-1780. That's 855-325-1780.
Now, more of Ring Talk with Pedro Fernandez.
There is no place I'd rather be than with you.
Check out the mighty Tower of Power, baby. Rock and roll on the soul side of town. A brand new cut on that brand new CD. Call it what you want. I don't know. Do people even buy CDs anymore? Everything's digital on the internet. Download and listen. Bottom line is Tower of Power rocking 50 years now at towerofpower.com. Well, the UFC is off until June 1st. Of course, June 1st, the heavyweight championship of the world being defended by Anthony Joshua, or a portion of the heavyweight title, of course, against the fat-shamed Andy Ruiz. Of course, Andy Ruiz shouldn't last but 4 or 5 rounds. If he does, shame on Mr. Joshua. And as far as the fights next week, you've got to have the Zone or ESPN Plus, because that's where the fights are happening. I'm telling you, boxing fans say to me, oh, I don't want to get the Zone. I don't want to get ESPN Plus. You got to spend a few bucks. You were spending money before on HBO. You were spending money before on Showtime. You were spending money before on pay-per-view. So you can spend a few bucks now and get the apps. Bottom line is, most valuable player of the week, I thought, was Mr. Inoue. I mean, he just God, 118 pounds. He looks like a monster. Good luck, Nonito Donaire. The guy that didn't impress me this week was Gary Russell Jr., of course, fighting once a year, taking on Kiko Martinez, stopping Kiko in defense of the WBC featherweight title, but not impressing me. No way, no how. May 25th on the Zone, Devin Haney going to take on Antonio Moran. It's a lightweight bout. And also on the same day, Fox Sports 1 is going to go with Austin Trout, former WBA 154-pound champion, against Terrell Gasha. Those guys are going to go with junior middleweight. And June 1st, of course, Anthony Joshua and Andy Ruiz, the main event on the Zone. The WBA, IBF, and WBO heavyweight titles on the line. You are tuned to Ring Talk, live worldwide, 35-plus years now, often imitated but hardly duplicated. I know you could be doing a million things in this entire world right now, maybe 2 million things, but the bottom line is you are listening to the longest-running fight show in history, and me, myself, Pedro Fernandez, I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. Until next time, don't forget, Ring Talk live worldwide airs Saturdays and Sundays, 11 a.m. Pacific Time, right here on Sports Byline, iHeartRadio, and Sirius XM Satellite Radio, Channel 211. Until next time, peace.